I've got a question for you, Matthew.
Go on.
Are film studios running out of ideas?
Yes, Ben. Yes, they are.
Well, let's talk about it, shall we? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome back to another Lost the Plot video. Yes, you are looking at myself and Matthew once again. I know, twice. It's getting a lot now.
Oh, wow.
It's getting a
I was
lot.
getting excited. But
Yeah, it's getting a lot. We might have to stop this.
yeah.
But yeah, today we are going to be talking about, as you've probably seen from the intro anyway, are film studios running out of ideas? And obviously we both think yes they are, and this video is going to be delving into everything to why we think they are. But before we get on to that, and before Matt gives us all his insights to the question and answering the question, we want you to like, subscribe, and ring our bell. As we've said before, Matt really wants you to do it, so please ring it. Okay? Tell them, Matt.
Ring the bell. Please, just ring the bell.
Right.
Ring the bell.
Right, moving on with today's video. So, as we've said, we're going to be talking about why we feel film studios are running out of ideas. Because I feel like this is a very important topic to do with film. And I feel like it's not talked about enough. I've mentioned it in my Let's Talk About June, talking about Jurassic World, and I've mentioned it on a couple of stories for Lost the Plot as well. So this video, we're really going to delve into it, but hopefully not for a long time. It's going to be quite a little drive-by from us too. But yeah.
Just a quick thought. Just
Yeah.
branching it out there.
Yeah, just getting it out there, get discussion topic. Let's go. So, start us off, Matt. Why do we think film studios are running out of ideas?
Well, I've been thinking this for a while, and it's just the amount of remakes that are happening and sequels that are happening to old films that were classics once, and they're just bringing them back. And it's just there's a lot at the moment with this year with Top Gun, Jurassic World, Scream or things like that, and it's just like it's beating like I don't know what's the saying, beating a horse with a what I can't remember the saying.
Beating a horse?
What is the saying?
I've no idea, but I don't think it's about beating a
It's
horse.
something about deadpanning a horse. I think that's beating a dead horse.
There we go.
See,
Deadpanning, beating a horse dead.
Yeah. With a pan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, it's getting a bit
repetitive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's obvious what they're doing, and it's needs to be discussed because I personally don't want to see all these really because a lot of them have flopped.
Yeah.
Some do well, but it's just like the chances of it doing well, and it's just damaging the reputation of what's come before.
I agree, and I'm fed up, and I'd say we're fed up of franchises using the success of older films and previous films to try and create hype and success in newer films. Like Top Gun is an example. Yes, it worked and it was brilliant, but also it's another reboot, it's another remake. Okay, not exactly, but again, Star Wars is another version. Sequels were absolutely shite.
Yeah.
But they've only done that to try and milk a cow when it's already dead. Like, there's no milk left, stop trying to milk it. And if we were to list some of the remakes that we've had over the few years and all the flops that we've had, you've got Blade Runner, okay? You've got Batman that they do as well. You've got the Fast and Furious franchise. You've got Charlie's Angels, Hellboy, Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider. There's far too many films being released from studios that already exist that are remakes to try and make money.
Yeah, like James Bond. They're just never going to end James Bond, are they? They just never are. And I've just already got bored of it.
Yeah, and a lot of people do get bored of James Bond because it's repetitive. There's only so much you can do with a character.
Yeah, because obviously they're using some sort of source material or going off old movies or whatever, and they're trying to make it unique. But there's a point where you can't do it without completely changing the character or completely changing something about him that just makes it give a reason why you're doing it.
Agreed.
And then it kind of falls into the category of ruining it
Yeah.
because it's not what people want to see, or it's not a good story because they've had to come up with it themselves, or whatever it may be. But
Yeah.
things like Top Gun, obviously that sequel was good, but the original came out in 1985 or something like that, and it's so obviously apparent what they're doing because they're running out of ideas. They think it'll make money without even writing the script. They just pick it and like, yeah, that was a good film back in the day. Yeah, we'll make another one.
It's lazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think film studios are getting lazy because what they're doing is they're using that success. They're using older films to then just do a sequel, do a next one. Why? You don't need to do that. It's like Lightyear is an example.
Yeah.
Toy Story franchise. Lightyear was an origin story that no one asked for, but we still got it, and it was very disappointing. Like, you've done that to make money. Yeah. Like, think about all the stuff, all the money they're going to make off memorabilia, T-shirts, cups. I've got a Buzz Lightyear cup. Don't know where from, but I've got one.
What, because of the new film? Or just
Yeah, it's based off the new film. I don't know how I've got it, but I've got one. But it's like stuff like that. They'll only do it to make themselves money. They're not thinking about the audience. No. They're not thinking about people watching the films. They're thinking about themselves. How can we make more money? Yeah. And when you've already got a cash cow, they'll milk it for everything that it's got. And it's exactly the same here.
Disney's the worst for it.
Disney is the worst.
They are now making live action remakes of
past animations.
Yeah, like really old ones that didn't need it. They're already instant classics. They're amazing kids films that don't need to be put in live action because some of the humour that comes from these films can't be done in live action. It's just silly humour, and I don't know.
If you look at the remakes if you look at the live action remakes of the animations, the ratings, hardly any of them get over a 6.5 because they're disappointing. They'll never be good as the original animation because they're iconic, they're nostalgic. They are passed down from generation to generation because of how iconic they were. The live action remake detracts from that, and Disney do better, get this, with films that are original. That have their creative spark, and there's no previous story of it before. Look at Encanto. Look at Frozen.
Yeah.
Keep doing that.
Yeah. They're making a Pinocchio, or they're making 2 Pinocchio films, and they're just like, why? Why?
I don't know because
they think that obviously they think it's going to make money, but they're like instant failures. They're just, in terms of ratings, like obviously it might make money, but they're doomed to fail no matter what they do with the script, with the writing, with the acting, with the cast choice. Anything they do is just going to doom to fail because it's never going to be as good as the original. So people are going to review bomb it, and it's never going to get higher than a 7 or 8 out of 10. And it's just lazy filmmaking, because films are supposed to be made for good ratings. They're like good films on their own.
Well, it's films. Films they're there to be creative. They are released because of certain creative choices. That's why we have different directors and why they're so brilliant, because of their creative choices. If you're doing a remake, there's no creativity in that. It's unoriginal. You're following something that's already been done, and it doesn't support anything. Like there's no director. You're not telling me there's any director, massive big director, that's going to want to do a remake of anything.
No. They're signing on to it for money reasons, maybe. I don't know, just to get a job.
Exactly.
Because it'll be easy. I don't know.
You'll never see Scorsese do a remake.
No.
Or Spielberg do a remake.
Yeah.
Or anyone like that do a remake, because remakes aren't successful.
No.
That's a fact. It will never beat the first film, ever. And it's always trying to live up to that expectation.
Yeah.
And I feel like film studios don't want to take risks. They're scared to take risks, therefore they don't reap the rewards. Because I think at this moment in time, the films that have done well or should do well don't get the exposure they should.
No.
So Everything Everywhere All at Once hardly got any exposure. Probably is the best film that's been released that I've seen this year. Yeah, things like that.
The Northmen as well.
The Northmen, again, the exposure of that was terrible, and it probably hardly made any money. But in
No.
reality, it was a brilliant film that was different, that it was original, and wasn't a remake or didn't link to a past franchise.
It's not being those films aren't marketed as anywhere near as much as sequels, remakes, reboots because that's how they just know that if you just market something that's already well loved out there, it's just going to be everywhere. I feel like it's be everywhere, especially Disney. The Northmen, I don't know, they don't have the budget to market like Disney do. So I don't know, maybe that I just feel like people need to stop seeing these and see more original films. But it's just,
And again, it's easy, and I feel like the audience, we as film watchers, become quite lazy as well.
yeah,
Because I'm guilty for it. I will see a Marvel film or a Disney film, and I'll have to watch it because of the production and the film studio. But in reality, I shouldn't.
yeah,
Like, I don't try, and I've done it more this year, but I don't lend myself as much to watching originals. I don't lend myself as much to going and finding an independent filmmaker and watching their films, because sometimes they are interesting, they are good, and they have that original spark that film needs and should have.
but a lot of the time as well, when you have other things in your life going on, and you don't have time to see all these films, I tend to look at the ratings more than anything
Yeah,
before I choose to go and watch a film. And when all these, well, most of these remakes and sequels are from old classic films, are all never above like a 7 or anything, and they're getting targeted on Twitter or something like that. I just don't bother sitting it in the cinema for me anyway.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's some people that do because they think it'll make money off like nostalgia and stuff. But for
Yeah.
me, it's not. I'm just losing interest in things like that. I'd rather see something that has a good rating that's new.
fresh.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. I think film at the minute is getting caught up in, they don't know what to do. A lot of film studios, and they're more than happy to, like all those we've just listed, to release remakes because they know it's going to make some money. It's easy for them, a lot easier for them. Even Matilda's being remade for Christmas. It's like Avatar. I don't know where they're going to go with the second one.
They're making like 5 now, are they?
What?
Signed on for?
But it lends
It's
ourselves to
supposed to be
like
a one-off film.
and that one film, it gets a lot of hype and so on, and so it should, because it was iconic and innovative at the time. But ultimately, what are you going to do for the second one?
Yeah.
You don't need to. And people go and watch it, and us silly twats will go and watch it as well. But ultimately, it's not original, is it? It's not fresh.
Yeah.
We're just going to look at something that was amazing the first time and be underwhelming the second.
Yeah. But we're watching it because there's pretty much everything that's coming out is that.
Yeah.
Like, you have to see films.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings series.
Yeah, I'm really, really nervous about. I just don't think it's going to live up to the classics. It's just not, is it? Because they're unreal. But this is like, I don't know. Even from the trailer, I've already like pointing negatives out about it.
But again,
it's
it's
just
like
doomed to fail in terms of, I don't know,
spin-offs. Why do people think spin-offs are going to be good and successful? We don't need a Lord of the Rings spin-off. We don't need a Game of Thrones spin-off.
no.
We don't need these things, but yet we're getting them anyway because, it will make money. It will be successful. No, that's not how it works. We want to see original. It's like Marvel at the minute. I feel like every film that we get links back to something before. Be fresh, be original. One of the best Marvel films that I've watched so far in Phase 4 is Shang-Chi, because it was original. Yeah. We got a villain that was fresh, that was nice to watch, and it was compelling.
Yeah.
And a fresh story.
Yeah, it didn't tie into any previous stories. I mean, obviously there's build-up at the end for the end credits or whatever, but the main film was unique, refreshing, different types of like fighting and tone and everything, and we
need more.
Yeah,
more of that from everyone, not just Marvel, Disney. Just more. Like, I don't want to be 67 years of age watching Fast and Furious 26 because they're supposed to make 2 more, but we all know that they'll make more and more and more until Vin Diesel's in a bloody walker, just tottering around like a twat.
Yeah, well, his son will take over and then...
oh, what a surprise!
Move forward in some sort of fucking shit way.
Or we'll have a film about Dominic Toretto being 12
Yeah.
and how he got to where he has and all that.
Oh, there definitely
crap.
will be. Oh my god.
An origin story for Dominic Toretto.
Oh, you put. Oh.
There's one for you, studios. Get the rights to that because you'll make millions for it. I want some royalties, and Matt does.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to be associated with it, but I'll take the money for it.
But I feel it's bad, isn't it? We love film.
Well, yeah, we're joking about it, but genuinely, now that you've said it, I can actually see that happening. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's a worry.
That's bad.
And
we're joking, and it could be true.
And we're in a postmodern era. So a postmodern era being we've done everything that we could already do. And I think now film studios are starting to think, shit, what more is there to do? Because we're in an age where technology's at its highest. Is there much more we can do? No, probably not. You'll see prototypes, but no, not more. And the exact same for film. We've seen every story that's already existed. Easily.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so they're thinking, what can we do? Oh, we'll link back to this to try and create hype, to try and create success. Because it did before.
And it's lazy.
Yeah, very lazy.
But
yeah. Film's in a bad place at the minute, I think, personally.
Yeah, they are. Because the best films of this year have been original films. And the films that are tied to something, there are some exceptions when the writing team managed to pull it off, but it's very rare.
Yeah.
It happened with Top Gun. The Batman film, I think, is really good. But Jurassic World was horrendous. Fantastic Beasts, horrendous.
I forgot about that.
There's too many flops from what they're doing, and they just the original films they're making seem to do better because they've more care put into it, and they should just keep going with that. Really,
and they're original.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They do what they want, creative freedom. Whereas if you make a remake or like Fantastic Beasts, you've got to follow rules, you've got to follow expectations, and yeah, it's hard at the minute to not look at the releases and think, God, the films I've been most excited about, like I've said, The Northman, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Nope as well. I'm excited for The Black Phone, and I know there were stories, but obviously stories are the first thing before film anyway. So I don't mind them making a book. Like Dune, that was a remake, but it started from a book. Do you know what I mean? That's fine, but you don't need to remake a film that's already out there.
No, or make a sequel to something that came out in the 1980s, where the actors are now 80 or 70 and can't physically perform that role anymore.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones 5. What are you doing? He can't really can't do action scenes. How is he going to be Indiana? Oh. What are they? I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like we needed this video to get it off our chest, to get it out there. Let us know if you agree with us down in the comments. Do you think film at the minute is in a bad place? Do you think film studios are running out of ideas? Because I feel like a lot of people are going to agree with us.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of criticisms that we get and what you see on reviews is same storyline, regurgitated storyline. This is similar to that. Repeat. And we're struggling. We're in a bad way.
We are.
So yeah. I feel like we should finish it there before we burst a blood vessel. Yeah.
Yeah, just get talking about it. Get it out there. Get film studios to recognise this video.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Get it out there. Get film studios in. Write letters, posters. I don't bloody know. Do something. Tag them in it. Send it to them. Who cares? We need some more originality. We need some more creativity. Not the same regurgitated shit that makes money for idiots, including us. And breathe.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to leave it there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring Matt's bell. And we've also got a TikTok, a Facebook, and an Instagram that we are active on all the times, posting interesting content and controversial content for you guys. So please get involved as much as you can and get engaged as much as you can as well. Please interact with us. We're more than happy to comment with you and answer questions and so on. So get down below, get on all the socials, have a little gander. And yeah, we hope you've enjoyed our little rant. My blood pressure's at an all-time high. I'm going to go for a lie down.
Yeah.
Right, let's have a cuddle.
So, yeah.
See you later, guys. See you in the next one.